Hello and welcome to our Providence Homestead. My name's Julie, and we are finally at the end of a 91-day, 13-week declutter challenge. Now, I know it's been a couple of days since I posted, but life happened here on the homestead, and it's been a crazy past few days, a week. But, luckily, as with you, sometimes life happens and you don't get to complete all the tasks in the week of assigned activities to do to complete that room, as happened for me as far as finishing up the dining room. Now, there wasn't really much to declutter from the dining room, but I had other projects from the house sitting on my dining room table. And isn't it just like everyone else? The dining room, the bar on your shelf in your kitchen, everybody has that place where things just seem to stack up. Sometimes it's your kitchen table where kids have homework. Maybe you pay your bills from the kitchen table. Maybe you do your laundry from your dining room table or your kitchen table or the couch in the living room or the family room. So that's kind of what happened with me. The room, I was able to clean it up, dust it. I did put some stuff down because for some reason Sammy loves the dining room rug. That's where she takes her treats and chomps them up and leaves little bits of cookies everywhere. So that I was able to get up, and which is like a daily or every other day thing of going in there, depending upon which treat my husband has given her for that day. The plants where I had my new plants growing, I've taken those outside. I've left the shelf in there just because I'm planning some new starts. And I was hoping to get to that last week, but that didn't happen either. But c'est la vie, you just got to move on and go through that. But this week challenge is the living room. And like in week 11, it was a family room that needed to be the declutter room of the week. We did our living room during that week. And so if you have a room that either isn't on that list, there's 3 bedrooms on the 13-week program. Maybe you only have 2, maybe you have 4. So if you have a different room, you just have to kind of move things around. So this week is the living room. It was done the week before last, or week 11. So that does not need to be done. So I'm just going to take this week to finish up the dining room, get those projects, let's say, done and out of the dining room. And then I'm kind of trying to, if I have time, go back through the whole house just to make sure things have stayed the way that I decluttered them, give them a good wipe down, dust, vacuum, and then the whole house will be done. And Sunday, I'm not planning for a day of rest because every time I plan, I lose it. But hopefully on Sunday, day 91, we can both, all of us, just sit back, relax, and say, wow, can't believe we made it through all 91 days. And the house is decluttered. The house is straightened up and cleaned, and it's done. Now, the group I belong to also does, I think it's 6 weeks spring cleaning. I'm not doing that. I'm not. I have done a lot through this process of doing the 91-day declutter. I've pulled everything out of cabinets. I've wiped down cabinets. I've done baseboards. I've done a lot. And we did some just before Christmas and the holidays of doing the vents and that kind of thing. So I might just keep an ear to say, okay, what are they doing this week? Is that something I have done or have not done? And if I haven't done it, then I will go ahead and do that, but I'm not going to be filming or talking about that. Spring cleaning is very individualized. as far as how many windows you have. I mean, if you have 50 windows, you can't do that in a day or two, maybe not even 3. So what I like to do is these windows that we have on this homestead home does not have any screens. The previous owner took all the screens out and they're up in the attic. So what I have done is, as I've done each room, I have cleaned the inside of the windows to make sure the inside's clean. And then later, as we have time, I do plan on pressure washing the outside of the house. And at that time, I will do the outside of the windows. But until then, I'm not doing it. So back to the 91-day clutter. Boy, it just doesn't take long for me to just go off on some kind of rant, right? So this week is the living room, and I apologize. I'm on the day 2, the Tuesday, or day 86. But yesterday, it was just a day, okay? Let's just leave it at that. So Monday or yesterday, and if you're just now joining us, then just plug it into where it works for you. Day 85, shelves and any mantles you may have in the living room. Tuesday is day 86. That's the media center, electronics. Sometimes in living rooms, there's the game systems, that kind of thing. And this really all depends if you have a living room, as I grew up, the fancy living room that nobody sits in, or you have an active, participating, everybody hangs out kind of living room, and you don't have a family room, or vice versa. It's so individualized that you just kind of have to work these in and change it around to fit your particular circumstance. Day 87 is any cabinets you may have in your living room. Day 88 is coffee table, end tables, side tables, anything that has furniture around in the living room that you put things on, in drawers, that kind of thing. Day 87 is couches, chairs. Week 11, we actually flipped our couches so we could vacuum and clean underneath, find those little bits of popcorn kernels that got through. We also take the vacuum cleaner and we suck down the sides of the seats to make sure there isn't food, toys. We didn't find any money. Sorry. Sometimes you can find money. That lost remote control, that kind of thing. Day 90, which would be in this case Saturday, because the challenges run Monday to Sunday, would be the floors, if you have a fireplace, everything else that wasn't covered that week. I'm sure if you were doing part of the spring cleaning and you had a fireplace, then somewhere in this week, or as you could schedule it, you would have a chimney sweep person come in and clean your chimney sweep, because it is at the end of winter. Most people are in the process of no longer heating their home in the fireplace. But then again, I speak from the South perspective. If you're up north, I'm sure you're vehemently, I don't even know if that's a word. You're still using your fireplace and stuff. But once a year, you need to make sure that your chimney sweep gets cleaned out. And that's a dirty job and well worth paying someone to get that done if you have the funds. And then day 91, whoop, whoop, that's the day of rest. That's the end of this challenge. And then from now on, I will be, after this Sunday, I'll just be posting things that we're doing around the homestead. I will be filming we're having taco salad for dinner, so I'll be filming my taco mix that I do, because I no longer purchase those little packets anymore, just because of all the chemical additives that they have in them. And yesterday, one of the things we did do is we went and got 2 brooder cabinet sets for us to start with our chickens, getting little baby chicks, which won't be coming in 2 weeks, but we went ahead and got the boxes so we can start fixing those up, and I'll film that when we get to that point where we're working on them just to get ready for the chicks that are coming in 2 weeks. We may actually get some other chicks depending upon what's available in our area. We have a lot of farms, so we have farmers who sell their baby chicks. We actually have some that sell fertilized eggs, but we're not at that point where we have an incubator and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to do all that, my cruise shirt. So that's it. So go ahead and get started. At the end of this video, I will post that list of activities to do in the living room to get you through the final week 13, to get through the challenge. I really don't have pictures for you. You can refer back to the last video that showed the dining room, and as we're getting done, I do want to, it's not going to be a huge impact, but I do want to try and go back through all the different videos and try to get pictures of all the declutter and the trash that did leave the home through this process. It's not a lot. It's not as much as would have happened if we had been in the home for 5 years, but it is what it is, and I was able to get that accomplished. So let's get started. You probably won't see me on a video going over the declutter challenge until the end of the week, day 91, as we come back together and recap the end of this challenge. So until then, take care, God bless, hug your loved ones, tell them you love them, and I'll see you next time.